that that was their figure. And we remember the wedding also because we ran over our family dog on the way to the church. That was an omen, really, Christine, wasn't it? Yeah. Staying the distance, of course, I don't want to leave out Molly, your father Philip, of course. But Philip left the back door open, matrimonially speaking. Ross. You know. Yeah, anyway. But mind you, knowing our sister Christine's varied and interesting love life, Philip was probably very wise to leave the back door open. And if you'd like just a little indication of what it means to, what it means to have to live with the unpredictability of a McDonough woman, it's Christine's interesting hairstyle now. Philip went to bed one night with a blonde and woke up with his uncapped summer haze. No, but Ross, getting back to you at your birthday, you took the plunge and you actually did get married. Carmel and I, being the only remaining Catholics in our family, did wonder whether getting married in an Elvis Presley chapel in Las Vegas with a Filipino Elvis Presley celebrant, whether that really counted as a Christian marriage. We thought it was up there with, you know, same-sex marriage and marrying the Harbour Bridge. But Ross did it, thank God. Ross is the only one of my father Jack, he's the only one of Jack's sons-in-law that didn't get thrown out of the house. For some reason or other, Dad threw all of his brothers, all his sons-in-law out of the house for some reason. The brothers-in-law were lucky, they got away. The rest of the family had to sit there and listen to Dad for the next 2.5 hours, screaming at us about what rude, ignorant, no-hoping bastard that son-in-law of mine is. And Mum would sit there and say, yes, dear. Yes, Jack. Don't use that language, Jack. Yes, dear. No, Jack. I liked Ross from the first minute I met him. Good choice, Gail, I thought. Mind you, I was a hopeless practising alcoholic at the time. I remember when we were in our drinking days, Ross and Gail took me to a restaurant in Enmore Road, was it? Enmore Road? Somewhere in the west, for those of you from the other side of the Harbour Bridge. It was a big thing. Anyway, they took me there because the waiter was gay, and this was a big night out to have a gay waiter. And I went up and asked the way to the toilet, and he said, oh, it's over there, can I give you a hand? Anyway, Ross and I went into rehab together. Luckily, I had a vow of poverty and I went to the 5-star luxurious Northside clinic. Poor Ross got the public Royal North Shore psych unit. But it didn't make much difference, except at Northside we had a much better class of drunk, I tell you. Something else we had in common though, after that, was learning how to sit patiently through numerous parties, weddings, wakes, family blues, Carmel's fundraisers, alcohol-free, and also watching Gail try desperately for the last 25 years to have one alcohol-free week. So Ross never realised that getting involved with Gail, as Terry mentioned, was going to mean for him a life of poverty. He foolishly encouraged Gail to get over her fear of flying and has regretted it ever since. I don't know whether she told you, Ross, that Bogota and Mogadishu are now on her wish list for next year. Sorry about that, Catherine. Sorry. Anyway, for Ross it was a big step joining our family. As you said, Terry, coming from a small family of only two, joining our family, the McDonough family, where there were, 8, I think, in Dad's family, and all of the kids, all of my aunts and uncles had lots of families. They're over there on the grandmother's table over there.
Wave.
But marrying into our family, for those of you who know us, is a little like marrying into a soap opera, really. Or it's like finding yourself on stage in the middle of a play that you don't know what it's about and you don't know your lines and you've got to make them up on the spot. You don't know whether the play is A Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, All About Eve, What Happened to Baby Jane, or Nonsense. And nerves run in our family. The Summer Hazes over there would know that Auntie Kath always had nerves. They run in our family, sadly. A number of us have nerves. We've learned to medicate it in a number of ways, haven't we, Frank? So Gail also, occasionally suffers from nerves. The fact that 2 bottles of Chardonnay a night doesn't kill it, but cause it, has come as a great surprise for her. But I remember coming home with Ross from the chemist where we'd gone to have a prescription filled out for her, and Ross was reading the prescription on the way back and he said, "I should be the one in this bloody family taking the antipsychotics," he said. He also said that day, he said, "Tom, I think you and Frank are the only normal ones in this family." And sometimes I don't think Frank's all that normal, he said. If he ever did think Frank was normal, sitting through one of his choking episodes at a family dinner party would have dispelled his illusion. But seriously, getting back to the serious stuff, as Terry said, I can just repeat the same things that she said. Ross is kindness itself, absolute kindness. And he's generous to a fault, isn't he?
Yes.
I know that every year he would take Carmel and I, with Gail, up to the Gold Coast for a holiday. We being poor and vows of poverty and couldn't afford holidays. Every year, without fail, they would take us up from the time the boys were little. They started going to the Gold Coast, and then when the boys were too old to go, they took Carmel and me. Not together at first, but separately. They would get a 2-bedroom apartment. Ross would take his toolkit and take the lock off the 2nd bedroom door so that we wouldn't have to pay for me or Carmel. But he's generous to a fault, really. He's generous to a fault. His house is always open, as many, many of us know. We're welcome there any time at all. He'll be in the shed, but we're welcome in the house. And he is a model of patience. Anyone who puts up with our family, of course, is a model of patience. But I remember one night we were sitting having a meal with Gail and Ross. I was down there staying. And as you know, they have a little block of land next to the 10,000 acres or something, is it, of the 10th richest man in Australia?
Yeah.
And Sandra came over, Sandra, the lady from across the road, the 10,000 acres, she came along to join us for dinner. Christine, Gail at least, it wasn't Biddy's baked dinner, but it was Gail's attempt at a baked dinner. This was before she took on cooking. And I was looking at the meal, as Sandra was, thinking she'd roasted some roadkill. Sandra liked slumming it across the road with Gail and Ross. And anyway, she was just having her house renovated over the road, and she kept saying to Ross, "You must come over and meet my architect. You could learn a lot from him. You could learn a lot from him, Ross. Come over and meet my architect. You could learn a lot from him." And Ross was just saying, "Oh, yes, Sandra. Thank you, Sandra." Effing bitch, she said. He's care for Gail. Ross, as all of our family would say, your care for Gail when she was a battling mum, single mum, was wonderful the way you were there for her. Very, just beautiful. We know all about those nights out at Narrabeen Pizza after the North Sydney Leagues Club closed down.